It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. Titus Oneil is here. Titus has been doing things, man, in the area since I know him to help people out, poor kids, poor teachers. He just did a whole backpack thing in Pasco County. He's got his big event coming up at Raymond James Stadium. He's got a new book called There's No Such Thing as a Bad Kid, and we'll bring him in here in a second to talk about that. Denise, good morning. You're on the Mike Calta Show.
Hello.
Hi.
I don't know why I'm on the Mike Calta Show. I called in to just find out what the names were that were drawn.
Oh, well, that's not you. Go get Titus, please. I mean, what do you think? We're gonna stop down for everybody on the show and whatever. If you didn't hear your name, you didn't win. I have a lady named Charlotte.
I have a lady, not Denise.
Yeah, there you
Ashley.
go. There's Titus Oneil. Look at this guy. Man, you really rock a suit.
Thank you.
Nice. I mean, I don't want to start this off on a gay tip, but you really do. Like I when I wear a suit, I look like I should be on the Monopoly game. You know what I mean?
Maybe you should start going to a different place.
Yeah, to get my suits.
Yeah.
A gym?
Yeah.
Like Grinders. Grinders Fine Men's Clothing.
Where is that?
It's downtown Tampa, off Whiting Street.
Yeah, see, I need to start hanging out with different people, I think, because
somebody's not influencing you in the right way.
This is the truth.
You're making all this money.
Yeah, millions.
And they used to walk around here looking like you're a first-year public defender. No offense to all the first-year public defenders.
I describe my look as elementary school gym teacher. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I've nailed that.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know what elementary school you at. Right now you got a New York Yankees shirt on wearing Tampa.
Yes. Well, listen, this is never going to change.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm 100% fine with that.
Right.
I support all our local teams, but I'm a huge fan of the Yankees.
I support most of our local teams. Yep. I'm a Lightning fan. I see you at Lightning games all the time. I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
That's it, though. This is in my blood. It'll never change.
Yeah.
Even though I find baseball kind of boring now.
I like it in October.
Yeah, that's playoff time, World Series time. Ever since the great Derek Sanderson Jeter retired, I think my heart died for baseball. Do you know him? Do you ever meet Jeter?
I do. I have. Yeah, I've done some things with his foundation.
Right?
Actually, I was the first person on Players Tribune, or one of the first people to do an article on.
Oh, really?
Tribune, yeah, which is one of the founders.
Now, what do you? I talk to you about this all the time, and you're in a different situation, I think, because you're just super grateful. But like, does it annoy you when you see celebrities, athletes, somebody who've achieved such great status and money, and don't give anything back to the community for a guy that does as much as you do?
It doesn't annoy me because I understand from the other perspective of why they probably would not. And some of them do it, and they do it in a very private way.
That's true.
It's a lot of business people that do the same exact thing.
Yeah, you don't hear about it.
Yeah, they don't want people to know what they do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so I can never put myself in another person's shoes.
Yeah.
Because some people have been pulled at, even me, I get pulled out a million different directions. Hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? And sometimes it does get very wearing, and where you may look at it, hey, can you take a picture? I just asked him for a picture.
Yeah,
but you were one of 1,000 people
while he was trying to get somewhere.
While I'm trying to get somewhere, while I'm trying to have.
That happened to me and you before we knew each other.
Yeah.
So we were in me and my son, who was little at the time. We were in Four Rivers Barbecue.
Yep.
And you were shooting some video, and my son wanted to take a picture, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sure he'll be nice." And he went up and asked you, and you just look mean. You just had a mean face about you. And I didn't want to be the guy to ask. I was like, send the kid to go ask. And then, of course, you did, and you were super nice. But it's on the approach. Sometimes you don't know where you're going to get back. Then I didn't want. Oh, if you would have been like, nah, I'm busy, I would have been like, now I have to hate you for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I don't ever do that. It is sometimes where I will say, yeah, I will, happily do it as soon as I'm finished eating with my family. That I don't get a chance to be around as much as you get a chance to be around your family.
I posted a picture for Throwback Thursday last week of me and Will Smith. I met him at an award show afterwards at a party, and I went up to him, and he had his back to me, and I said, "Excuse me," and he turned around and he had a plate of food, and I was like, I didn't know. I was like, I didn't know. He goes, "No, it's cool." He put it on. I go, "No." I still feel bad to this day about it. Yeah, you don't want to bother people when they're eating. Like I always tell people, my family doesn't care. If we're in the mall or something and say hi, I like to know people are listening. I don't get to see them every week. I don't get to see thousands of people, but like you walk out into the crowd, you're like, there you are in different cities, So I don't care. But when you're eating with your family, I would never bother a celebrity like that.
Yeah, I get and understand. Like their first thought is, oh my God, there's such and such.
Yeah,
but that such and such is a human being too.
A father
or a mother or whoever the celebrity or athlete or whatever it may be is. Like they're entitled, and I think sports in general has given people this, and sports and social media have given these people this access to folks where they feel entitled.
Yes.
I pay your salary. No, actually you don't. No. Your $150 ticket purchase doesn't pay for my son to go to Berkeley Prep.
Right.
It helps, but I only see a very small fraction of that. You know, so when people try to say, "Oh, well, we pay for you guys to be able to live the lifestyle you live," you really don't in the grand scheme of things. So even if you're a season ticket holder somewhere, that's like not even enough to put gas in the car.
No, there's still whether you go to the game or not, they're still going to have that guy on the team.
Right,
so,
exactly.
I will, though, if I hate a guy, won't buy his jersey.
Yep.
I won't support some of the things he does, and I don't really hate anybody.
And you're
that's the way to do
it. That's your way of empowering people.
Right.
And also disempowering people that you don't like. You know, if you don't like somebody and they put out a product, like I wrote a book. Yep. If you don't like me, you don't have to buy my book. There are other people out there that will.
Now, have you written this book? Is called "There's No Such Thing as a Bad Kid." Have you written an autobiography yet?
I have not. You
have to at some point do that because you have such an interesting life.
Yeah, I mean, this tells somewhat of my life story.
Okay,
but it really tells the process of what led me to thinking that there's no such thing as a bad kid, and I try to live that out, especially on a daily basis with educators and coaches and mentors and teachers. Those positions, and even law enforcement officers. Yeah. In those positions, they are sometimes not given enough credit for how much positive impact they can truly have on somebody's life, and they definitely don't get paid for what they have to deal with on a regular basis.
No, I talk about law enforcement officers all the time, and we have some situations where sometimes officers are out of line, and you hear a lot about that, but you never see all the good stuff that they do. Yeah. And then, like you said before, when you're a celebrity eating dinner, people have to remember you're a human being. People don't take that into consideration with police officers. Those are humans who also don't want to get hurt, and they don't want to get killed, and they have families, and
they're doing a job. I tell people all the time. We just did something up in Lakuchi yesterday with the Boys and Girls Club, and that's a very underserved area as well. And I partnered with Pasco Sheriff's Office and the Boys and Girls Club, but going there and I was telling those kids and families, I said, these people are doing something I know for a fact. I know for a fact I will never go and sign up to be in any military branch.
Right.
I will never, there was a time where I thought about wanting to be a police officer, but then I sat back and I thought about it. I was like, I'm going to be putting on a pair of pants and some boots and be strapped with a gun and etc., knowing that there's a chance that I may not come home
every day.
Every single day. You don't know who you're pulling over. You don't know what situation you're going into. And it's not just the threat of being shot or killed. It's the emotional stress that you have. And teachers go through this too.
Sure.
The trauma you go through of seeing a kid that was left at home by himself, or seeing a parent strung out on drugs and the kids, a baby's sitting there
having to deal with all that stuff.
Rushing them to the hospital. There's numerous stories that first responders, again, they're some of the strongest people and courageous people that you ever come across, first responders and those in the military. And I have a great amount of respect for them, because I just know that that's not how I'm wired. If somebody comes talking crazy to me and spitting in my face, I'm gonna knock the shit out of them. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to hit the button fast enough.
I think you know what he said. If somebody came at him throwing water at him, he would knock the ass out of him.
Yeah, but fans are doing it now to players. You got an owner that's pushing another player, from an opposite team, and it's like, well, at what point are we giving people access to just be rude and and disrespectful. And if you don't, if you don't agree with somebody, fine. If you don't like somebody, that's fine too. But it doesn't entitle you to be a jerk.
No.
In any sense.
Because they play baseball or because they play football or something. No,
because I have this uniform on.
Right.
And all of a sudden you can treat me different. You can talk to me different. But, again, these are people, human beings that have families as well and are signing up to do something that I know for a fact that 95% of society would not want to do.
No, and it's not like they're getting millions of dollars to do it either. No,
at all.
My wife is a counselor, a mental health counselor, and she worked for psychiatrists and stuff, and she would come home with some horrendous stories, and I had to go, stop telling me. I didn't sign up for it. I don't want to know. It's weighing. I want to go kill every one of their parents, who are treating these kids bad. I couldn't imagine doing that on a daily basis in any capacity.
And these teachers in the public schools are doing it every single day.
And they have to see these kids' problems, and also they have to know that this kid, as much as you try to work with him in the school, their home life is going to ruin everything.
Yeah, their environment, and that's the whole thing with the book that I wrote. That there's no such thing as a bad kid. The reality of it is that I was labeled a bad kid, and I was in a bad environment around bad influences, making bad decisions. You take that same exact quote-unquote bad kid, you put them in a good environment around greater influences, and they'll have a greater chance to succeed. That's what happened with me, and I think that that's what's been duplicated amongst a lot of people, not just here in Tampa or around this area or the state of Florida, but around the world, where people have invested in someone enough to the point to make them believe that they can be better.
Can I ask, what was your situation when you were younger? Who were the positive people around you?
There was a guy named Patrick Minogue, who I talk about in the book. He was the person that I also talked about in the TED Talk when I did a TED Talk. That in the same conversation, he said to me, they were getting ready to kick me off the Florida Sheriff's Boys Ranch because I got into a fight, and not even 30 minutes after I signed a contract that I would never get into a fight. And so they had a meeting, and the meeting adjourned, and they had said that they were going to send me home. And, he brought me in, and I had my head down, and he said, why do you think you get in trouble all the time? And I said, I don't know, man, I'm just a bad kid. And he said, lift your head up. He said, there's no such thing as a bad kid. And I said, how can you say that? And he said, I'm not going to give you the answer to that right now because I truly believe that you're going to turn things around. Now, I am going to make a lot of people upset, because I'm not going to send you home. The decision's been made for you to go home, and I'm not going to send you home. And I love you, and I believe in you. And a lot of people had told me that they loved me up to that point, but no one had ever told me that they believed in me and that they believed that I can do something positive and productive. And
immediately you felt that this guy wasn't BSing you?
Yeah. I mean, it was
the way he delivered it to you?
The way he delivered it to me, and then also to his actions prior to that, he was just a good man, from Chicago, Illinois. He loved the Chicago Bulls, played basketball. He's like 50-something years old. He would get out there and run around with us. And from that day forward, he gave me his phone number to call at the house, the cottage, before I got in any trouble. We went out and played basketball in the rain. He would take me away before I got into trouble. And so it didn't instantly change my behavior, but it definitely instantly changed my mindset. Like, I got to start believing that I can do some positive things.
Right.
I can't let the negative folks and the negative actions and my own negative behavior keep putting me in a position where I will end up dead or in jail.
Yeah.
And he literally, in that one instance, right before my 12th birthday, changed my life and my perspective on how I deal with people, how I deal with people from all walks of life, and to live in my truth. And
I imagine you had the opportunity probably several times to talk to this guy about the successes you've had over the years, going to college, playing football, being a professional athlete. I mean, it all goes back to, he must be so proud of that.
Well, he passed away from prostate cancer in 1997.
Where were you at that time?
I was at Florida. So he got a chance to see me graduate from Florida.
Which I'm sure is probably what he wanted the most.
Yeah. He saw me, I mean, not graduate from Florida. He got a chance to see me graduate from high school, which I was the first high school graduate in my family. I graduated high school before my mom graduated. My mom went and got her education after I went and completed mine. all the other time she was waiting tables and cleaning houses,
working her ass off to take care of you.
Yeah, and so he got a chance to see me do some really cool stuff. He saw me sack Peyton Manning, and maybe 2 or 3 months after that, he passed away. But I talk about him in my book, and I talk about Charles Blaylock in my book, who was another guy that was a kind of a father figure, and Pastor Greg Poe, who was locally here.
Right.
But those 3 men really helped me see life from a completely different perspective. Charles Blaylock was the first African-American superintendent to be elected in 2 different counties, and both counties are, he's the first black man, that I saw in a position in politics that he truly was making a difference.
Right.
And there were some people, and he's also the person that I saw sometimes where people would be like, I want to support you. I'm going to support you financially. I just really would appreciate if you didn't
keep it on it.
Yeah, if you didn't tell anybody.
Really?
And I saw him say to them, well, I appreciate, your gesture, but if you can't support me openly, then that's not really support.
Wow, that's ballsy.
Yeah.
In politics.
Yeah, and because people take money from everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that just gave me a whole different perspective on.
A lot of people, especially successful people, they have these moments when they're kids and then they forget about it. And you are clearly one of those people who are grateful and doing more to help kids out. The book is called "There's No Such Thing as a Bad Kid." I'm looking at it on Amazon right now. You can get it. And is this something kids can read with kids?
Yes.
Kids can read it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids can read with their parents, and WWE did a really good job of tempering down some of the stuff that I wanted to say, which is good, because I had to look at some things from a different perspective after listening to several people, not just from WWE, but other academic institutions, and even here locally, I rely on some people with the school district to kind of help me shape what's appropriate, what's not appropriate.
Deliver to the kids, yeah.
But more importantly, just to deliver to the adults too, because I've always been like, part of our problem is a lack of male role models.
Yeah.
But then I have to also consider the fact that there are a lot of women out there that have served as both mother and father in their households, including my own.
Sure.
And to just isolate it to one gender and sex, to say that basically, some people can take that as, so without a man, people can't be successful.
Yeah, that's, it's because it's your perspective. You came in with the single parent family where you were lacking in the father area.
Right.
But there's plenty. I'm surprised because my wife works for high school age girls now. I'm surprised how many of the families of these girls are living with the fathers. The mother is either on drugs or disappeared or whatever. It's a lot more of that now than I had ever expected. Or maybe it's always been that way, but you don't hear about it as much.
Yeah, I think we're in a society where everybody's hypersensitive about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And not sensitive enough to the truths of what people face on a day-to-day basis. The reality is that, there are teachers, there are police officers, there are people that can't afford to live in adequate housing.
Yeah.
There are homeless people that served our country well for years, and veterans,
Sure.
And
should be treated like gold now.
Yeah,
but
we're so patriotic, but I just that's why I try to stick with the issues. I don't really, I could care less if you're Democrat or Republican. If a kid needs help or a family needs help and you're in a position to help, I feel like you should do that. And the only time I think that most of the time in America that we come together as a country is when tragedy hits. And that's very unfortunate. I've seen some of the most racist individuals that you could ever come across all of a sudden be kumbaya when a hurricane hits. Because that Mexican or that African-American guy that lives 5 houses down is the one that's helping you get medication.
Yeah,
or
got your water.
Yeah, got you with some water.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really is a shame at how that is the only time we really, go out of our way to seek each other out. Titus Oneil is here with us. He is an athlete. He's a WWE superstar. He's a former college football player. and he is an author. He's got a book. It's called "There's No Such Thing as a Bad Kid: How I Went from a Stereotype to a Prototype." If you're looking for something for your kids to read, especially getting ready to go back to school, kind of get them in that good, positive mood, this is the way to do it. Titus is a great guy. If you only see the amount of between being friends with you and Sheriff Chronister and a couple other people, you're constantly in my timeline of doing good things, and I look at it and I think, I don't know if I could keep up with your schedule, because in addition to being a Saint, you're also an active WWE superstar. I mean, you're traveling 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Yeah. Where I see you up in the morning, either on a flight or at the gym. It's a crazy schedule.
Yeah, it is a grind, and I think a lot of people, they see us on television Monday and Tuesdays. And,
they don't know that
they don't know that we have shows on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays as well. Yeah. And last week was a great week for me. It's one of the best weeks of the year because I had a chance to work in Orlando. And then sleep in my own bed, and then work in Tampa, and sleep in my own bed. But then there's like other stuff that, like the Be a Star rally I had that day, and I had media to do, and then I had a VIP reception that day, and then we had a Raw reunion as well, and I had a match that night. And I flew in from Philadelphia, because we were in Reading, Pennsylvania that Friday, and then Wildwood, New Jersey that Saturday, and then flying to Orlando. Jesus.
It's just... That's insane.
And then, it's... So a lot of times people don't understand, he gets to travel all over the world. Yeah, I do.
He works 6 minutes a night.
Right.
Yeah, now, and by the way, Titus gave me a little hug after the match today. You have no idea how far... Well, you probably do know, but how far that goes when you have a 12-year-old son.
Oh,
yeah. Because he didn't say anything, but then later on he was like, then Titus came over and said hi. That's right.
That's my boy.
That's right.
Remember that now.
How's Batista doing?
He's doing excellent. He's over in Albuquerque right now. He's filming a movie.
Aren't you so happy for him? He's another guy that it was like you're like, we've known Batista for a long time.
Right.
And to see him having the success that he has, it makes me so happy for him.
The success he's having, but also him remaining the same person.
Same dude.
Like legit I would say the last 14 years, I've been friends with, I've been wrestling for 10 years, so I knew him prior to this.
Right.
We've had the same group of people, friends.
Yep.
For all that the entire time. Like maybe it's been one or two people added in the mix.
Yeah.
But for the most part, every time we have a get together at his house or my house or we go out to eat, it's the same 8 to 10 people.
Yeah.
And so I learned, with that, for myself, like I think I do a lot more stuff outside of our circle with a whole lot more associations or whatever. But it's important. I think a lot of times, even with you, you deal with a lot of people, right? You deal with a lot of sponsors. Yep. You got to make it happy. You deal with just people all the time. But to have that very close-knit group of individuals that you trust,
need that.
And that you could talk to and be vulnerable with, that's very hard to find because you're a superhero. All of us are. We have platforms. We're on the radio. You're a rock star in some people's eyes, and to some people you're a jerk or whatever it may be.
Very familiar with that.
But, that's one of the reasons why I think Dave has been so successful is because he's been consistent in who he is as a human being.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's been the same person since we know him. I text him every once in a while just to check in. I'm like, I know you're, and he always writes back, and we always he's just that cool of a guy. So I'm happy that he's having success. Now, what's the end game for you as far as wrestling goes? Like, how much more do you want to do it?
Well, I got a few more years.
I know, but after a while, I'd be like, I don't want to get hit anymore.
Yeah, I'm venturing into movie stuff and TV stuff too. Yeah.
What do you got? Give me a little scoop on that.
I can't tell you, man.
Man, you guys. Yeah. You say I can't tell you, and then I go see on the internet.
I can tell you, Big Show has a new.
Oh, we already talked about that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Big Show show.
Yeah, the Big Show show. So a Big Show can get a Big Show show.
What do you got? Movie or TV? What's up?
A little bit of both. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come and talk about it on the radio once it's like final and.
Just do this. I haven't said this to Batista yet. I'm gonna lay the groundwork down on you. Eventually, you're gonna need a a guy to like to beat up in a movie. You know what I mean? Like I'll be the bouncer, and you come in, and I go, you can't come in, and you come back and slap me around a little bit.
See, the only problem with it is that you're not a trained professional.
Thespian or athlete?
Well, neither.
I have done a little of both.
Oh,
I've been in TV shows. I've been in movies. I'm pretty.
Yeah, but nothing physical.
I hide it. I don't like to show it like you do. You're a show off with all your abs. I hide my abs. I don't have
You can bleed on command.
Oh, it's
yeah. Well, we'll see. I know that they have guys and girls that have been. That are specific for that type of work.
Well, I'm available if you need me. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I just want you to be able to continue to doing this show. I mean,
don't hit me in the mouth. We'll be all right.
Huh?
Don't hit me in the mouth. We'll be okay.
But knowing you could end up falling and hurting yourself where,
This is true. But I could be in traction and still do this job. As long as I could do this, we'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the spot. I got a question for you.
All right.
Who wins in a charity boxing match? The great Sheriff Chad Chronister?
Please don't ask him. Go ahead.
Or the giant, handsome Sheriff Chris Nacco?
Oh.
So we do an event every year called the Punch Out.
Yeah.
And I tell Chad, fight Nacco, and he was like, he didn't say no.
Yeah.
I go, but if you fight Nacco, we move it to the Sundome, and we charge for tickets, and we give it to charity.
Yeah.
That'd be huge.
He'd be all for that.
Nacco's a giant, though. Chad's in great shape.
He is in great shape, but I don't know. Chad's pretty, man.
Chad is pretty. Doesn't want to get hit.
Chad is a beautiful individual.
But he's in solid.
He is in great shape. Yeah. I don't know that Nikki would even allow him to do that.
No, I don't think we have to ship her out.
Yeah.
Well, she's out. Let's go. She's out of town.
Well,
right
Lisa
now.
too, and Candy. I mean, I think a lot of people will be jumping up. You know, Thomas St. John. I don't know. I would say no. I would say Nacco.
No, I was gonna say no wasn't the answer.
I would say Nacco. I would have to go with Nacco.
You would Nacco because Chad would not fight, or because you would think he's so much bigger.
I just don't see Chad as a fighter.
No.
Yeah, I see Chad as Chad is a guy that brings people together from all walks of life. Yeah, it's not even. I mean, but he's so genuine. He's real.
Oh yeah.
And I see him more as a president than I do a fighter.
Right, and I see Nacco chasing a guy down,
and
jumping in his moving car.
Dogs. I see Nacco being on CNN.
Yeah. Oh,
somebody crossed him the wrong way. And
my wife, I always ask her, I'm like she doesn't think Brad Pitt is that. Obviously he's handsome, but doesn't do anything for her. And, she never said anything about guys. And then one day she was like, a sheriff came by our work today. He was a very handsome sheriff. And I was like, whoa, slow it down. That's supposed to be somebody who's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it should be local.
I mean? Holy cow. All right, what do you got wrestling-wise? I don't even know where I'm kind of old now, so I have to
we have SummerSlam coming up next week in Toronto.
Are you in that? Are you wrestling?
I believe so. Yeah, I'm almost positive I'm part of the 24/7 title picture.
Oh, no. So that's any time.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
I'm the first ever champ.
Oh, you're the first? Yeah, see, it changed its hands so many times.
Yeah.
So you eventually got to get it back.
I do.
Yeah. Who's got it now? A little guy?
Who has it now? No, Maria.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. She tried me, too, on Monday Night Raw. Say, you want to try at the champ? Yeah, she's pregnant.
Oh.
Yeah, would you hit a pregnant woman?
Yeah, you wouldn't.
I would
for the belt.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah. But I would. Yeah, if I was forced to.
I got you.
This isn't Attitude Era anymore, where you can get away with that stuff.
I don't know. We might be making a little swing. I heard
it could be. Yeah, we definitely could be. New TV deal. Let's talk about Saturday. Upcoming.
Saturday at Raymond James Stadium.
Raymond James Stadium, 8:01 to 2:01 p.m. Our second year in a row, I'm partnered with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and we're going to do a back-to-school bash and a kickoff classic. Originally, we were going to do a open practice after the success of last year's. We had like 31,000 people at the back-to-school bash last year. We gave away 15,000 backpacks with school supplies in like 2 hours.
That is awesome.
So now I ordered 20,000 this year.
Wow.
Because you can't do the same thing 2 years in a row.
Can I just tell you, as a father of 2 kids, a 6-year-old and a 12-year-old, it's ridiculous how much stuff you have to get for these kids.
Yes.
When I was a kid, we had a pencil case and 2 pencils.
Right, yeah.
Now, I mean, I'm buying tissues for the classroom. I mean,
expensive calculators, laptops.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely more pricey to be be a kid.
And if you're a parent that has multiple kids, I mean, you need some help.
Yeah. And so it's not just that. We have, the Vision Mobile will be out there, Lion's Eye Institute and the Glazier Foundation. Last year we did it kids can get eye exams and then 10 minutes later get a free pair of glasses.
Oh, wow.
I grew up with
that's awesome.
Very thick glasses, trifocals.
You nerd.
I hated them. I used to be beat up and then the arm would get broken. And because we only had minimum insurance, you get one pair of glasses a year.
Tape them up.
Yeah, so I didn't wear them. But so we have dental screenings as well that we'll be doing. Like my whole thing is, that backpack with school supplies, somebody might get it taken or they may lose it or whatever, that next day or that first day of school. But if they can see, and if they're running around and they don't have a toothache, that can help them sit still in class enough to learn, and hopefully the teachers can do their part and the parents can do their part, and then we'll have a more successful school year.
Also, you can tell a kid 1,000 times they need to brush their teeth.
Yeah.
But until somebody that is not in the family that is wearing a white coat tells them to brush their teeth, that's when they do it. I can tell my daughter whenever, as soon as the dentist says, you need to brush your teeth every day. She's like, I got to brush them now. Yeah. So that's a lesson they need to learn early. So are these kids already invited, or are they invited? Anybody could show up? How does that work?
They're registered. Registered
okay.
through BulletFamilyFoundation.org. For every kid that's registered until supplies run out, we will do our best to try to accommodate, as many families as we possibly can. Advent Health has been great with a great partner for both the Buccaneers and for my foundation.
Yeah.
And very thrilled to have them. But there's some other people like, PDQ and Walmart has stepped in big time too. And the Metropolitan Ministries, as everyone knows, does great work.
Yeah.
And so they're running our activation for our volunteer leads and stuff like that, and feeding Tampa Bay. And we've got Skanska Construction. We got a lot of people, obviously the city of Tampa and Tampa Police Department and Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and the list goes on and on. We have too many people to name in a short period of time.
But that's great that everybody comes together to help out.
And that's the thing is, like, it's the same way with the Christmas event. My thing is, why are we doing 1,000 backpack drives, or why are we doing 1,000 back to school bashes in separate parts of the city? Why don't we just bring it together? We don't have, that's one of the cool things that I enjoyed about Jane Castor. One of her first things was the Boom by the Bay. She threw it on everybody like 3 weeks out, but it was very successful in multiple ways. Number one, it gave people access to fireworks that probably wouldn't traditionally have an opportunity to go out and have fun and be a part of the fireworks display. Now, if Jane did one here to that level, and then, the sheriff decided he wanted to do one, and then police chief said he wanted to do one, and the school board, superintendent said they want to do one. Now it's like, now you're spreading all these resources, and people are like, where do I go? Where do I go? And I want people to just say, you know what? Instead of doing our thing, we'll just partner up with you.
Do it all together.
And make it easy for everybody. And
that's great. It's hard to do that in your position, not have an ego, and to say, hey, we could all do this together.
Yeah, some people.
Mine doesn't have to be the best.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that you really find out, and I have found out over these last few years, who really wants to do the work for the work and who wants to just see their name in the paper.
Yeah, that's the truth. We talk about you a lot on the show. Every once in a while, we'll read a story or something we say. I don't know if I get back to you, but when do you think the Pope's going to call and say, hey, guess what? You a new saint. Saint Titus. There's certain days where I go home and I go, today was a good day, and I sleep really comfortable. And then there's certain days where, like, today could have been better. I bet you have a lot of those good days, and you definitely earned them. So thank you for all that you do. The book is called There's No Such Thing as a Bad Kid, How I Went from a Stereotype to a Prototype by Titus Oneil. You can get it on Amazon. And I
have a book signing in local.
Oh, where's that?
Too. August 4th, Sunday.
This Sunday.
At Barnes and Nobles.
Which one?
North Del Mabry.
Del Mabry, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll put some stuff up. I'll send you guys some stuff.
Yeah, and tweet that stuff out so that people will know. Listen, if your kid is little and has never even watched wrestling, just being around a giant like Titus Oneil is exciting. For I see kids interact with big people. but also a great positive influence for somebody for your kids to meet and get the book signed. It'll get them more interested in reading it. So go do that Sunday at the Barnes & Noble in Northdale, Mabry. Dude, great having you here. You're always welcome. And anytime we can help you with a charity thing, we got Big Mouths. Let me know. We're willing to spread the word.
Big Mouths and
lift some stuff.
Big Mouths and great sports outfits.
That's right.
My man here, you really threw me off a little
Summer
bit.
No sleeves.
Yeah, summer no
sleeves.
You should try that look. Try that look on Monday night. Show up with no sleeves on your shoot.
Batista used to have that look.
Yeah, but he had nice arms.
When he was deep in Batista.
Yeah. Oh, the worst gimmick in the history.
I love this tie though.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice purple tie.
It's my favorite color.
Color royalty. Yeah. Men's Warehouse.
Oh, beautiful.
You know,
they
had
it's a really nice tie.
Buy one, get two free.
Spanish got abs this year. He's got
he looks. I mean, he looks different. Yeah. You got
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Too?
Yeah.
Okay, he just turning into a whole nother human being.
Right? He's
right before our eyes.
Human before and after picture. Yeah, good. All right. Well, listen, you look great. You get the Titus Oneil.
Thank you. Love you.
Yeah, man. Love you too, brother.
He does.
Yeah.
He'll probably try to sneak a hug in before you.
He don't have to sneak it. I'll give it to him.
Oh man, I
love people.
Right now.
Yeah, me too.
You do? I don't want to hug anybody though.
Yeah, I hugged you at Monday Night Raw. Put you over the moon.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you know somebody, I'll hug them. I don't like to hug strangers.
Yeah, I think, with all the negativity that's going on and has been going on for years and the stereotypes behind whatever, I feel like when you greet people with a handshake, it's cool. But when you greet them with a hug,
they appreciate it more.
Yeah, because sometimes that hug might be the difference in them having a better day or a worse
You're
day.
so much of a better person than I am. Mine was sometimes people smell. That's the only reason.
Well, I have to deal with that too. Autograph signing, sometimes I'm with other guys, and I'm like, me and Seth Rollins did one like 2 weeks ago. And man, oh man, I was like, I couldn't even hold it on one. I was like, damn.
It takes a guy like you to tell him, buddy, you need to put some speed stick on.
But I couldn't though, because they paid,
you don't want to be a dick.
Yeah.
I got you.
But I mean, come on, man.
That's so fun.
Overseas is the worst.
Oh, because it's different lifestyle.
Yeah, they don't even care about deodorant. No. I don't even know if they sell it.
No.
Yeah.
They all stink. It depends on where you are.
The women too.
Yeah.
Beautiful as I don't know what.
But woo.
Some of them really stink.
Who's your best friend like at work, like at WWE?
I have a couple. I mean, me and Roman are really close.
Are you?
Yeah.
And he's healthy now, right?
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah, me and Roman. I would say Sasha Banks.
Yeah. All the girls.
Cesaro. Yeah, Dana.
I asked you this a couple times. You always just blow me off. I want to know what your relationship status is.
I'm single.
So single?
Yeah.
Because I Googled it before, and it said that you used to date Omerosa. I didn't know about that.
It was
a long time ago.
A long time ago.
She's very pretty.
She's all right.
Pretty, maybe a little crazy, but she's pretty.
Yeah.
What about and now? Super single now?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I am.
I want to know.
I'm single.
What's in your life?
I'm single.
Will you help Carmen find the new boyfriend? Who do you got?
Carmen
broke up with her boyfriend. Her and her boyfriend broke up.
What's the status?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. That's your Facebook status too?
I don't have I don't have a status.
There were tears on Monday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Who can we find? Who do we got in work that we might be like? Carmen don't play. Carmen likes black guys, white guys. What do we got? Rednecks.
Yeah, I don't know that she would date. I mean, I don't know how needy she is because we ain't never home.
Yeah, that's true.
Some women they want to see you. We don't ever get a chance to spend any time. Well, you knew that before we started dating.
Man, I'm trying to think of who I think would be good for you.
You on dating websites?
No.
Look, she's up there looking at pictures of me.
Yeah, well, she's showing me up behind your head there, so I can see. Yeah. Well, I mean, you probably it was one time where she was on a streak with just black dudes. You would have been her dream guy, I think. Who was the guy? Dwayne Wade. That's who you liked, right?
Dwayne Wade, yeah. Listen, awesome. Right now I'm just chilling, gonna focus on myself.
That's because you can't see Titus' abs.
That's what I'm doing too.
If Titus' abs are out right now, you're like,
I need to get my own abs first.
Yeah. Well, he'll get you in shape.
So.
He'll get you in shape.
Yeah,
you're gonna get up.
You're gonna get up in the morning.
It's amazing. It's amazing how much you eat for
I love
how much
food.
You work out. Yeah, well,
you love it too, but
I don't love working out as much as you do.
I don't love working out.
No,
that's why I go so early. No, I hate it. That's the reason why I go so early. I want to get up and get it out of the way. Yep. Wow. If I don't work out before 10 o'clock, I'm not working out.
Wow. That's how I feel. But then I just take a nap. Titus Oneil, Sunday, go see him at the Barnes & Noble, and this Saturday at Raymond James Stadium. Thank you, bro. Great to see you.
Thank you.
We will take a quick break. It's the Mike Calta Show.
You're listening to the Mike Calta Show on 102.5 The Bone.